Okay, Lieutenant Dan over here. We need to address those wheels as we talked about. So, on the table we have the factory wheels, and what we're going to be doing is actually relacing the factory hubs to a new set of rims. So, let's go ahead and crack this thing open. Let's do an unboxing.
Unboxing? That's all the rage nowadays.
An unboxing, yeah. So I'm not sponsored or anything like that. These came from Z1 Parts. I did use my friend Pete's code, so it was like Pete23 or something like that. He does Pete's Classic Cycles. He focuses on like two-strokes and stuff like that. Does really cool things.
There's just something crispy about a fresh box.
Oh, look at this. It's not packing peanuts, which pleases me.
I like peanuts. Nice.
So they actually sell these as a kit, basically like a copy of the factory rim. So the ID. These, what brand were they? Skago. Somebody said these things are really rare. I don't know, prices of these rims used on eBay is not bad, but this just seemed like a better way to go. So they sell this as a kit. Shiny new rims, and we get spokes and nipples.
Those do look nice. How about that? This is a luxury. We don't have to like spend 6 business days on the wire wheel cleaning it.
Yeah. That's blinging.
This is gonna look so out of place.
He ain't lying on that. The issue that we run into, I talk about this on other bikes, but it's like a cohesiveness. So you make something very nice like these rims, well, the thing next to it is gonna look not so nice. So it's hard to figure out where to stop. So, you know, we're gonna have to make the rims look nice, and then, I don't know, everything else surrounding it, we'll just kind of see where it goes. But, you know, in back, we've got some new shocks here, of course, so they're not gonna look so out of place. I don't know, up front, I don't know what we're gonna do.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Cool.
It's like Christmas.
And another box.
Where did I put the knife?
That's not a knife.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
Seth doesn't watch many movies, so
I don't.
I'm always giving movie references and just like...
They're hopelessly lost on me 90% of the time.
But that 10% though.
Those are good times.
Yeah. For the record, I was just quoting Crocodile Dundee.
Never heard of her.
And then new spokes and nipples. Sweet. Now, even though we try to be well-rounded, we've done a lot of stuff, have a lot of skills, one thing I've never done is actually relace a wheel. So not even on a bicycle or anything like that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to my friend James's shop. I'm actually wearing his shirt right now, so Slipstream Creations. We're gonna go to his shop, and he is actually gonna give us a demo on how to do this. But before we do that, we have to disassemble those things using the death wheel, and then clean the hubs up, restore those, and then we'll be ready to go over there. So next up, we're gonna go ahead and start disassembling these things. The front hub is painted from the factory, so my first step was to use the sandblaster to remove the paint. Out back, I use the vapor hone to get it to a nice aluminum finish before doing final cleaning in my ultrasonic cleaner. Once the hub was clean, I went ahead and installed some new bearings and then also did a PTFE coating on it to protect the finish. On the front hub I used an SEM self-etching primer and then followed that up with a Spray Max 2K Satin Black, which is a really nice coating.
So these will all go like that, and if it makes it easier for you, you can, I've used tape to kind of hold things in place sometimes. But yeah, so once they're sort of all in.
James and his son Taylor were very generous with their time showing us how to do this. It was a lot of fun to have a school day and learn a new skill. Overall, the job was very relaxing and equally satisfying. But since this isn't a how-to, just enjoy some of the moments from the process itself.
Because usually the hub is very small on bicycles, spokes are really long. And so these will only cross like 2 times. Normally on a bicycle, they end up crossing each other 3 times.
Okay.
We can just thread it on enough so that it hangs on. And then we can kind of go around and it'll be, you'll see when you get to the next one, it's here, right?
Presumably like follow that pattern.
Yep, so just follow that pattern all the way around.
And then you know that the outside spokes are going this way from the dents, so the insides are going the opposite direction. And I'll normally just kind of get them all set up.
So is it both sets of the insides are going that way?
No, so the insides are going opposite of each other, but if you look at one side, like the insides are always going counterclockwise, and then if you look at the other side, like it'll also be counterclockwise, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
This one.
Now, are we going to do this on a grading scale? Seth's definitely paying more attention than I am right now.
I mean, who knows? Maybe we could have, fought this enough and made it work, but we'd rather. It's not every day you have to go to school,
I feel like it's really confusing the first time, but you do it a couple times and it ends up being like I can watch TV while I do it if I want to.
Okay, so I guess it really doesn't matter which way is which on this.
Unless you want, are they stamped on
Yeah,
one
like the
side?
stamps. So that's going to be on the drive side.
Shit, I didn't even look. I wasn't even paying attention when we did it.
So I'll just make this on the brake side on the left, stamp, so it's the same.
So,
Just kind of pick one that's in the right angle here.
yeah, so the top row will always be the ones that are sort of higher, and then you'll see which
So, like,
direction.
closer.
Cool. All right, so like now you can take these guys, right? And so I'll just kind of go that way, and you can just kind of do the same thing. So go through here, up to the next hole, start your threads, and then work your way around.
So it goes in and just.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
This is so much easier than what I did before.
Yeah, you said you did a set. You just
No clue what I was doing. It was a little Trail 90, and I could not for the life of me figure the pattern out. I just had to look online and see the right way to do it.
Yeah.
But they crossed a weird way.
I almost think that we're off. Are we off one?
Not. It's not tight because half the nipples are catching. You know what I mean? I don't think there's actually a side that's tight yet.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens.
so cross.
Yep.
Just kind of falls right where it needs to. It's so, like, my brain tells me that if I move it, it's gonna just fall apart. But I know it's not gonna happen. I think so far the thing I'm struggling with the most is just understanding which one's the inside and the outside, because it's like, am I thinking of the head or am I thinking of the spoke? So
Yeah.
these are the outsides, right?
Yeah, I'm mostly referring to like where the actual spoke part is.
I mean, that sounds obvious, but for some reason my brain is like wanting to think of it the wrong way.
So what differentiates the different angles of the head? Like another.
It's just so the ones that come through this way, they have to bend over further to meet up to the center.
Oh, okay.
So that like the bottom of it is sort of perpendicular. Mm-hmm. And so the ones that go to on the inside, like in order to go to the center of the rim, they're sort of like that. But if you're on the outside, it's like that basically.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep. Probably that one.
So you got yours all in. So what I normally will do is when you look
That's
at these,
kick my butt.
Just gradually do it.
yeah. So gradually, and just to get them kind of where they're all sort of in the same ballpark at least.
Okay.
So if you left a millimeter, 2 millimeters of thread here, just be consistent, go around, and then we can kind of go around again, and then we'll put it in the stand and start actually truing them.
Last one.
Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, if we get them all sort of consistently there, I
Right.
bet we'll be... Feed that guy in there, and just all we're trying to do is pull that cone tight, and we'll get it kind of sort of centered up here.
So getting ready to put these on the truing stand and then starting the tightening sequence and truing sequence.
Oh, we need to tighten this side, and then we can... A lot of times what I'll do is I'll just...
Seth didn't get the memo today about the Slipstream shirt. Everybody's repping except for him.
It's this close to putting it on too.
Yeah.
I need to buy a new one off you actually. I shrunk mine in the dryer too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, that's what I say.
Yeah.
It shrunk in the dryer.
Wasn't all the desserts every day.
So what I'm gonna grab here is, I usually use and we got one on here already, a zip tie.
Run it.
Alright, so we can see.
And then you can use the zip tie to mount the tires.
You
can. So I'm going to go around again in threes until I come back to where it
spot
started.
here. I would maybe try to pull this side that way just a little.
See, this really helps because I didn't know what is tight for a spoke.
Yeah. It's hard to tell on these things too. You'll see a lot of guys that they'll like kind of tap the spokes and listen for the change in frequency and like that.
That's some Mr. Miyagi stuff.
Yeah.
Wax on, right hand. Wax off, left hand.
Okay. So that one's all ready. Okay. Then you go 1, 2, 3. Do the third one. We're already over it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
And then I'll sort of like where you see it starting to get closer again, you just kind of taper off how many turns you do. So getting closer.
And then the next time, so it'll take 3 revolutions to go.
That's
all the
looking way
around,
better.
Basically.
Okay.
I think you're fine. Cool.
Yeah, these look really good.
That's some nice fresh
Also, this is
chrome.
Nigel. And he is absolutely enthralled with Seth. So some of these things may look familiar. That bike over there. Is that you? So this is Slipstream Creations, and some of the projects we have going on. This is James and Taylor. So,
Howdy.
James has painted a couple of my bikes for me. So, Grandfather's Axe and then the Yamaha XS 400.
Yep.
You do a lot of the stuff. So, you're here in St. Charles, and what do you kind of focus on?
You know, we've mostly done vintage Hondas. You know, we'll do a couple of builds a year for customers. We got a Yamaha XS 650 now we're working on, as well as that CL 360 over there. And we do a lot of paint work as well. So
Yeah, lots
got
of
a
Hondas.
tank in the booth ready to get painted. And
Can we see the booth?
yeah, let's take a look.
You got a really cool setup in this place.
We got a bunch of stuff just sort of out of the way in the booth right now, but got some side covers and a CB750 tank. Got one last round of block sanding here to get that ready to go. And we got some plastics in a tank for a BMW that's gonna get painted here probably next week.
Oh, is that like an R9T tank or something?
I don't even know what it is, honestly. Never even seen it on the bike.
Yeah. Man, a lot of work. But I love the setup in here. But you also do like industrial stuff too, right? You do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, a little bit of just sort of general metal fabrication, handrails, and
I mean, a lot of shelves and stuff in here. Everything's like handmade, but really well made. I just love this space. So yeah, a lot of the cool stuff, but you have been very key in helping us lace these wheels. You as well. I don't have a mic on him, so you just gotta yell if you say anything, you know? But been very helpful, so we really appreciate it.
No problem.
But yeah, can't wait to get these things back, get them on the bike, and now it can roll.
that's nice.
Get it
Yeah.
off the table.
Seth,
What?
do you know you could reuse zip ties?
Look, I'm only going to reuse them this one time because we don't have any more, okay?
Let's see. Yeah, you just stick a pick in it, and it's like it comes out so easy.
And you fight it for 20 seconds to save 5 cents on a zip tie.
Yeah. In that zip tie tire change video, we had a ton of comments talking about reusing zip ties. Like, we know you can. But in this instance, they're under a lot of tension and they kind of destroy themselves. So it's a lot easier just to use zip ties to save time than it is to try to save the cost on zip ties. You know what I mean?
I'm already over it.
He's over it. And of course, before anybody says, the front tire on a motorcycle always looks like it's on backwards. There is a direction on this and it will be mounted the right way.
I put it on backwards, didn't I? One moment. Fixed it.
Well, this thing is back on 2 wheels and it is looking really nice. And this is again gonna be a little bit of scope creep. The wheels look really nice, so then the thing next to it has to look nice, and so on and so forth. And then this is a $20,000 restoration, which is not happening. So anyway, lacing wheels. I think it was pretty cool. It was very relaxing actually. And I definitely I really want to do it again. So what were your thoughts on it?
I thought it was fun. Like, it's just kind of soothing, just taking all these little pieces and eventually you have a puzzle that comes together into a beautiful piece of art. It's fun.
Yeah, I think for me the hardest part was just kind of like, okay, which spoke is on the inside, outside, just kind of getting that down at first. But now I understand, the shape of the spoke and where its placement is going to go. So yeah, I don't know, we're just gonna start lacing some more wheels, I guess. But always nice to be learning new skills, and I really appreciate James for helping us out with this one. James and Taylor, his son. So it was kind of like Team Taylor and Team James, so it was fun. But you got yours done faster, that's for sure.
Yeah, I've also done it one time more than you have, though.
Yeah, and I was filming and stuff. That takes time, so that's my excuse. But anyway, I hope you guys like this one. Look for another video on this bike. Hopefully soon. We've got a whole lot of other stuff going on with it. The next video you're gonna see is probably gonna be on the CBX, and we had a bunch of other stuff going on in the shop. And just here's something you're not gonna see, is this really clean GS 750. Just look at it, it's gorgeous. So we have all kinds of stuff going on. But again, hope you guys liked this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.